So, based on what you did in the warm-up, you are finding certain values on the unit circle given the radians. So now we're going to do the trig inverse. So now we're going to work backwards. So I'm going to basically give you the answer, and you have to figure out what is the radians. So what I mean by that is the first question is cosine inverse of square root 2 over 2. And we know whenever we're talking about cosine, we are talking about the x-coordinate. So I'm going to look on the x-coordinate and I'm going to figure out when is the answer square root 2 over 2. Well, it's right here. And it's right here. So that means in this box, you have two different ways you can write it. You can write it as the pine sign divided by 4 and then space or space 7 pi divided by 4. Or instead of doing the symbol pi, you can spell out the word pi, so that's pi divided by 4 or 7 pi divided by 4. So either one of those options is going to work. You can write it like the first line or you can write it like the second line. And then when you put it up, it should tell you it is correct. And if it doesn't, then let me know. I'm going to do one more question just to make sure we're all on the same page. So now I'm going to I'll just do sine of -1 or number 3. So I'm going to go on this chart and I'm going to figure out when is the answer for sine 1, and I'm looking at the y-coordinate only. And this one, in this case, only has one answer, and that it is pi over 2, so you can write it as pi divided by 2, or you can spell out pi over 2. And it should tell you that the answer is correct. Pi over 2, and if it doesn't, let me know, because that means Miss Lau messed up. I'll do one more just because I'll do one of each type, sine, cosine, and tan. Tan is probably going to be the hardest because it takes a little bit more thinking, just a little. So I'm looking for tan, and tan is the y-coordinate over the x-coordinate, and I'm looking for something that says square root 3 over 3. So if I look over here, I'm just going to look at this first option right here. So the y-coordinate is 1/2 and the x-coordinate is square root 3 over 2. And so if I try to simplify this fraction, the numerator and the denominator is both being divided by 2, so that will basically cancel each other out. So I'm left with 1 over square root 3. And I can't leave the square root 3 at the bottom, so I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 3. So when I do that, I get square root 3 over 3. So I'm basically looking for something else besides pi over 6 that has 1/2, that has the coordinate point square root 3 over 2 comma 1/2. And the only one that does is this one, because when you do a negative divided by a negative, that makes it a positive. So my answer could be pi over 6 or 7 pi over 6. So pi divided by 6 or 7 pi divided by 6. Or you can spell it out and put pi divided by 6 or 7 pi divided by 6. If you're still confused, please let me know and I will help.